Hi there, and welcome back to the third of our three video series and using some of the advanced features of the Polycom VVX 250 phone with Fusion and MegaPath. If you don't remember, my name is Earl Kelly. I'm the owner and founder of EK3 Technologies. So we're going to go over some of the more advanced features that we haven't talked about yet on the Polycom phone, and hopefully all of your questions will be answered by the time that this video is over. If they're not, of course, you can always call our support department or text us at 904-875-5051. So the first thing I want to talk about is the call list. So this particular phone will actually save up to 150 different numbers in the received, missed, and dialed call list. So if you wanted to know who you received a call from today, or you wanted to know if someone had called, would actually be able to do that very quickly from the phone. If you have any missed calls, up here in the upper left-hand corner of the LCD screen, it'll actually tell you how many missed calls you have, so you can come in and look at those. So the easiest way to look at missed calls is to use the down arrow here. So we're going to use the arrow keys right here. You'll see these three, and it's really easy to show missed calls. So you're going to hit the down arrow. The down arrow is going to give you a quick list of all of the missed calls that you have. You'll notice that I have one missed call, and it's here on the screen. Okay, so if I wanted to know the received calls, I can hit the right arrow, and they will show me the number of received calls that I have. You'll notice I have one received call on this particular device. Right, and finally, I can hit to the left, and it'll show me the calls that I've actually made. So this is a list of calls that I've actually made. Now, what's really cool about this feature is that not only does it give me the time that that person called, but I can also use that information and save it into a directory in my phone. So let's say that I wanted to save somebody's number. I could put it in Outlook, but I could also save it to my phone, and then it's always in my phone when I need it. The easiest way to do that is to go to your call list, press info. Once I press info, you'll see it has a little picture, right? And it has the person's number, the time they called, etc. Actually, it'll tell you how many times that they called. So right down here on the bottom, I can hit save, and it will allow me to save this number into my phone. I can also hit edit and dial and call that number back, all right? If I wanted to update some of the information. But if I hit save, it would ask me what number I wanted to change it. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because you can change this to any name that you want to save it to. If the caller ID comes up as Bob, then it will say Bob here, but this one actually comes up as wireless caller. But I do have the option to save it. However, in order to use letters, I would actually have to press the corresponding number. So for instance, if I wanted to start out with an F, I would have to press the 3 key 4 times. And you'll see that happen when I do that. And it will show up as F. So you'll have to spell it out on the keypad. You'll notice as you walk through, it will spell it out for you. But I can do that and save this particular number. Okay. So once I hit save, you'll see that it says that contact has now been saved into my personal directory. So I have a directory on the phone with numbers that I wanted to save. So if the phone was to clear itself out, or I wanted to clear the phone out itself, I could always just go into the phone log and see what it was. Now, in order to get back to the main screen, I can either wait and the phone will actually reset itself, or I can always hit the home key twice. Pressing this home key twice will always send me back to the screen. So if I was to hit the home screen once, I will get the main menu for this phone, and in this menu, I can do all different sorts of things with the actual phone itself. The first option is redial, and that's a little redundant because you can always go to missed calls or received calls, press the button and redial. But I can go down to option number 2, and I can hit the center key, and I can redial the last number that I called. Again, a little redundant because you can always do that right here from your missed calls, your received calls, or your dialed calls. Okay. If I go down to option number 3, that's under messages. And if you have a voicemail message, your little red light will be flashing and it'll give you all of your voicemail messages. By going to the message center, that's option number 3, okay, that will show me all of the messages that I have and the number of messages. This particular one tells me I have 0 urgent messages, I have 0 new messages, and I have 0 old messages. So I can actually click this button. Again, on the soft key, I can click connect. It will connect me into the message center and allow me to check my voicemail messages on my phone. Now, Fusion/MegaPath allows you to actually forward all of your voicemail messages to email. We can set that up if you would like. Again, you would call our support department or send an email to support@ek3tech.com, and we can have all of your emails forwarded to, or your voicemail, excuse me, forwarded to your email. That's something that I personally do. I come in here every now and then and clean this out so that I don't have to actually go in and delete the email messages. You can go in here and click clear. Once you click clear, your little red light will start flashing, and it will send you your voicemails via email. It's quick, easy, and you don't have to be reliant on a device or the message center to get your voicemails. The other thing that you can do is from here you can go into number 4, which is your directories, and it will tell you your contact directory, okay? And if there's any calls in here, it will tell you your directory. We can also set up an enterprise directory for your entire company if you choose. If you want to have a list of all different numbers, maybe you're an attorney and you want the number of all of the different clerk of courts, etc. We can put any kind of different list in here that you want to be listed under your enterprise directory. And of course, your personal directory is in here as well. You'll see if I go down to number 8, I click OK, you'll see that there's the number in my personal directory that I put in there. There are a bunch of different directories under the directory option that you can use. And so talk to support or your administrator for more information on those. Number 5 is do not disturb. This is a very important option. Do not disturb allows you to put your phone into this mode, and then you won't get any calls. All your calls will go into voicemail. Now, this is very tricky, so I'm going to warn you right now. It's very many of our users will actually accidentally put their phone into do not disturb and then not understand why they're not getting phone calls. So let's talk about do not disturb for just a moment. So you notice that the phone, if the phone is ready and it's active, it will have a phone and it will have a little green dot. Okay. Do not disturb is also available in a soft key right here. So if I was to press do not disturb, let me see if you can see this up real close. If I was to press do not disturb, you will notice that the green dot turns into a little do not enter looking sign. That's on do not disturb. So if I was to call this number right now, this phone would not ring. It would go in directly into voicemail. So to turn that off, I would simply press the do not disturb one more time. You'll notice it goes back to green. That's important because you can accidentally hit this button and not realize that you did, and then not realize why you're not getting calls. So it's always important to notice if you're looking for a call that this light turns green. Okay. You can also set that up. Again, it's option number 5 in your main menu for do not disturb. Okay. Option number 6 is forward. Again, you have a forward soft key here, but you can press forward and it will say, you can press forward and it will ask you always, no answer, or busy. So this is a great option if you have a cell phone, you're expecting calls, or you're looking for maybe someone who covers your calls, etc. You can actually change any one of these to go to any other number. So if you have a cell phone number, you can actually say, maybe I'm going to be out of the office today. I can say forward, always. I can put in my cell phone number. Once I put that in and hit save, then all calls that come to this phone will actually automatically be forwarded to your cell phone number. You can also hit no answer, and no answer will allow you to send that call to anywhere. So you could set this phone up so that if you don't answer, then it automatically goes to your cell phone, or maybe it goes to your receptionist, or maybe it goes to your secretary, or your administrator, whatever you would like. You can set that up there as well. And finally, for busy, you can set that up so that it goes to somewhere the same as you would with no answer. So the final option is number 7, and that's the settings, and that's where fun stuff happens. So under settings, really the only thing in here that we play with is under basic. So under basic, you can go down to number 4, and that's ring type, and you can have a ring for your phone. So if I go number 1, that's default, you'll see that there's a very long list of different ringtones that I can have. If you press play, there's a soft key here, play. Let's see if we can get some of these. You have different options for different ringtones. A lot of people like certain ringtones. A lot of people don't like ringtones. That is a very annoying one. I wouldn't have that one there, in your office if it's a very quiet office. But there's about 14 different ringtones that you could possibly have for your different phone. We can also set up ringtones for, if you had a different line calling in, etc. But by default, that's the one that most people use. The other thing in basic that you're going to use is number 7. If your phone is ever acting funny, or if you ever have call in and we change something, we may ask you to restart your phone, and you can actually go into basic and number 7, which is restart the phone, and the phone will actually automatically restart. Now you'll notice that you'll get really quick with this. Instead of using the actual scroll bar right here, you'll notice that each one of these options I have given you a number, and I have told you what number it is, but you can actually press the number. So for instance, if you wanted to quickly forward your phone, you could actually press number 6 instead of going down to the actual options that are there, and then you will see that there are numbers next to those options. So for those of us that are old phones, have been doing this for a while, we can actually go into settings, number 6 and number 1, and we know that that's what we're looking for. Now, you probably, starting out of the gate, won't know what the options are, but just notice that when you press the home key, that the numbers are located beside each one of the options over here. The other thing I don't think that we went over was conference calls, and you can have a conference call on this phone with up to 15 different users. Now, coming with the service is also a conference service, but just because there are only 2 lines on this phone does not mean that you can't have a conference call with more than 15 people. What you would have to do is add on each line. The easiest way to do that is to dial the first number, press conference, dial the second number. So when you press conference, the first number will automatically go on hold. Dial the second number. When they pick up, press conference again. Those people will be in a conference call with you. Then to add on to that conference call, you can actually just press conference again, add someone else on, and et cetera, and you'll be able to have a conference call of up to 15 different people. Well, again, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, we are always here to help. Our number is 904-875-5051. You can text us at that number as well as call us, or email us at support@ek3tech.com.